Good morning, friends. It is a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's gorgeous. It's still a little bit chilly, but you know we're gonna take it. What better thing to do on a beautiful day than to empty your RV tanks? You're doing a great job.
Got it. Last but not least, this is the kitchen gray tank. I really hope that's the last time I have to do that.
I'm taller than you.
You are well.
I'm actually just as tall as you.
In this current situation, you are taller than me.
I'm also sitting, so.
We had a really good time in Florida last week with my family. We were able to get away, enjoy some nice, warm, sunny weather. We had the best weather,
Perfect weather
for vacation. Today we're back at the property, and we told you guys a few weeks ago that we have bought 45 acres and we're so excited to get into it. We're out here today kind of messing around a little bit. So with this property being mostly timber, one of the things that we decided to do was to contact the state forester. And if you guys are in an area that has a state forester representative that can come out to your property, I would highly recommend doing that.
I just realized I have my gloves in my pocket and not on, so I'm gonna put on gloves. Mike and my brother Justin got to walk the property with the forester, which was a great learning experience just to learn about our land and what's common in this area of Indiana. And one of the things he suggested was to kind of manage the invasive species.
Yeah, so depending on your area, the state or the county, maybe within the state that you're in, there might be some programs, some incentives to take care of invasive species.
And my mom actually worked, she's retired from the Soil and Water Conservation for a different county nearby. So we had a kind of an insider's view there as to things we can do, federal grants and government programs like Mike said. So we're starting to get the ball rolling on those. Hence the chainsaw noise. My brother is working on some of the grapevines.
So we're obviously not experts. That's why we decided it would be best if we start reaching out to people who are experts. And the great thing about, at least in Indiana, their forestry division is that is a free service, and our state forester is actually writing up a management plan for us right now. And what's included in that management plan is ways to manage your property. He came out and met with us and gave us his thoughts on the property, what we need to be doing to take care of it. And he also talked to us about some other state-funded programs that can benefit us as landowners as well.
And the best part about that, like Mike said, it's free. That's just an available resource, because this is not something, I grew up with woods on, my parents' property, but I couldn't tell you one tree from another or what you do to really take care of it. So that's a free service. You can just call up your state forester and be like, hey, I have this land. Can we come look at it together and make up a management plan? I think that's awesome that that's not something you have to budget for.
Something else that we decided to do was we reached out to a timber consultant, and the timber consultant has actually come out, met with us, talked to us about our property, talked to us about what he would do if this was his timber, and we have started marking trees, and we are going to have a timber sale at some point.
And I know that has like a negative connotation for a lot of people. When you hear logging, a lot of times the picture that comes to mind is just completely wiping out a forest, wiping out trees, completely clear cutting. and that is not at all what we want to do. We are doing a very selective timber harvest. Selective? Yeah.
Yes.
I keep looking to Mike, and Mike's doing most of the talking because he has spearheaded all of this. The boys, my brother and Mike, have done all the legwork on this, and I'm very grateful for that. But that means he knows a lot more about it than I do.
So the last thing that we wanted to do was go in and just start cutting trees. So talking to a professional timber consultant is what we did, and we're going to be doing a selective timber harvest. So each acre has about 5 trees or so that are coming off of it, and those trees are mature and they are actually starting to deteriorate because they have been here so long. So what we wanted to do was manage our property, and in that way our property will be paying us back a little bit as well.
We honestly have really liked working with the private timber consultant. He's been doing this for decades, and Mike called him a maestro because he can just stroll through the woods and be like,
they're pointing stuff out. That's white oak, that's walnut, that's tulip poplar, and it's honestly awesome to see a professional like that work.
Yeah, and he loves to teach too, so we learned so much from him. I only got to walk with him one day, but Mike and my brother walked with him several days, and I feel like each time they were like, oh, you should have seen this, and Jack told us this, and it was really neat, and I feel like we learned a lot from that process.
We're sharing this process with you guys for a couple of reasons. First off, we like to just kind of entertain you guys. If you want to get away and just kind of watch us for a little bit and see what we're up to. We're not really trying to really educate you guys, but this is for our future reference, and if you guys are new landowners, it may help you understand that we're also struggling a little bit with it as well as new landowners ourselves.
And selfishly, I want to be able to look back at this footage and be like, oh my goodness, can you believe the property used to look like that?
Yeah.
Can you believe how naive we sounded? These grand plans we were making. Another thing the state forester told us, and it might look weird what Mike's doing, but if you pull up these honeysuckle, that's great, but if you just lay them back on the ground, they're probably just gonna re-root and grow back up. So he's putting them like on bushes or on limbs where they'll dry out and die, instead of trying to gather them all up, because 45 acres full of honeysuckle is a little too much to actually continually gather up. I have to like reorient myself all the time when we're over here. But if you guys saw the video where we announced that we had purchased this, if not, I'll drop the link up here. But we showed you the old house, like the old homestead. It's up there on the hill, and it's been so long since anyone's lived there. It's just completely been taken over by nature, and you can see where it looks like stuff is just washed down the hill from it. I am getting hopeful because it's getting a little bit warmer, but being down in Florida for the last week reminded me what I don't like about Indiana winters. And it's not just the cold.
It said it lasts forever?
It's the gray winter.
Yeah.
Like, there's no sun today, even though it's not raining, it's not snowing, it's just gray.
You ready to head back since this thing's dead?
We can't work anymore, so we might as well leave. Is that what you're saying?
I guess.
All right, y'all, thanks for hanging out with us again this week. Obviously, we're gonna be working on the property for years to come, but just a little taste of what we'll be doing in the next couple of years, I think.
We love you guys. We'll see you next time.